YouTube, we're doing something a little differently today. I am actually in front of the camera. It's for a special occasion. We're out here on the Dixie Highway, the old brick road located near Espanola, Florida. This is a truly remarkable piece of highway. You don't need a Jeep to get to it. It's a public road. This is actually part of the old National Auto Road system, which predates the interstate highway system, the U.S. numbered highway system, and was laid out in about 1915 to 1916. Now, I'm not going to waste a lot of time telling you the history of this road because there's a much better video on YouTube that does that. When you have a moment, check out a video by Zach Zacharias from the Daytona Museum of Art and Science. He does an excellent video which lays out the complete history of this road, and it is remarkable. This truly is a special piece of U.S. automotive history. This road was built during a period in time when automobiles were a novelty. Very few people had them. Very few roads existed outside of the cities. If you wanted to go from Jacksonville, my hometown, to Miami or Daytona, you were taking horse carriages once you got outside the city. Lo and behold, some of the states got together. They made some arrangements. They said, hey, it'd be really nice if we could put some roads state to state so people could get around. Start this booming economy based around this new technology called the automobile. So a band of states got together along with private financing and laid out a network of roads which became known as the Dixie Highway. Many people believe the Dixie Highway is a point A, point B road, and that simply isn't the case. It's actually a network of highways which run from as far north as the upper part of Michigan all the way down to Miami, Florida. This is one of the few remaining sections of it where you can see it in its original form. It has not been improved, it has not been maintained. It is the original 105-year-old brick road. It's only about an 11-mile stretch. Runs from near Hastings down to about Espanola. And we're gonna come out here today and we're gonna drive it and see what it looks like. Hopefully learn a couple of things along the way. Now, one of the things about this road that I'm gonna show you, it's not very wide. The road is actually a single lane road. There's not enough room on this road for two vehicles to pass by each other. I know it looks like it is, but this is actually where tires have gone beyond the boundaries of the road and worn the shoulder down. The road actually runs from right about here to here. Single lane. Back then, as I said, not a lot of people had cars. So people would come down this road in their old car doing maybe 20 miles per hour. Most of the cars back then had a top speed of 35 to 40 miles an hour. On a road like this, you were not driving that fast. People would come down this road 20, 25 miles per hour. You would approach an oncoming vehicle, but it's simply somebody would just get out of the way. That's how the roads worked back then. These days, well, now we have cars going back and forth past each other. 18-wheelers use the road, and it's kind of hopped its original boundaries. But it is still there in its intact original form. This truly is, if I can't stress it enough, an amazing piece of automotive history. This was one of the first steps in building an interstate highway system which revolutionized transportation in the United States. Prior to the construction of the auto roads, if you wanted to go from state to state, you went on a train. Some people were actually still using horses. The construction of the auto road system actually allowed people to begin to travel state to state in their automobiles. And it's amazing that it is still here. 105 years later, this road still exists. It has not been paved over. It hasn't been renamed into a U.S. highway or a state road. It is still the Dixie Highway. Down at the entrance down there, it's actually signed as the Old Brick Road. And thankfully, they have protected this section of the road as a historical feature. So one thing we're going to do is drive it and see what it's like. We do have a Jeep out here. We don't need a Jeep for this road. You can take this road in any sort of vehicle. So I'm going to stop talking now. Let's get in the Jeep and see what the road is like. Well, here we go. Let's see how it is. So we're presently going about 16, 17 miles per hour. Got the windows down, no air conditioning, on a about 80, 85 degree day. I'm trying to imagine what it would be like driving this road to get me where I needed to go. Let's say it's 1920. I'm in an automobile of the day. It's got a top speed of about 45 miles an hour. And I am driving this road trying to get from Jacksonville to Miami. That is going to be an undertaking. Although in all fairness, this road is probably going to be in much better shape in 1920 than it is in 2021. But people tend to think of automotive transportation in current terms. They don't apply historical context to stuff. They think that the interstate highway system's been there as long as the car has been there. They don't realize that there was a point in time when automobiles were a novelty. I think back 8 years ago, 10 years ago, when you would see the first Teslas on the road, and think about how much of a novelty they were. Like, oh wow, that's a Tesla. That's one of those electric cars. Well, in 1916, that's how it was for all automobiles. You saw a car, an automobile, you're like, look, it's an automobile. That thing actually goes without horses. The world of automobile travel was a lot different back then. You didn't have gas stations everywhere. Relatively speaking, gas was expensive. And not a lot of people had cars. You know, you can go Jacksonville to Daytona 2 hours. Less if you drive like you have somewhere to be. In 1920, Jacksonville to Daytona via automobile was an all-day trip. You started in the morning, leaving after breakfast, and you didn't get to Daytona until dinner time. That was an undertaking. So it's definitely a bumpy drive out here, but certainly nothing like going off-roading. But one of the great things about this place is that, as I said earlier, you can do it in any vehicle. You don't need a Jeep, a 4Runner, anything like that. You can come out here in a Honda Civic and drive it. And it is a public road. You're not trespassing, you're not going on anybody's private property. There's no fee to use it. It is still a open to the public and used piece of road. The only thing that I would caution you against is please don't be that person that comes out here and tries to take one of the bricks with you. Removing the bricks is illegal, and it also makes you a douchebag. One of the things that upsets me about stuff like that is, I'm going to give you an example. Back in 2011, I went on a trip to the border between Garrett County, Maryland, and Pennsylvania to track down marker stones from the Mason-Dixon line. I think we can all agree that the Mason-Dixon line is an important part of American history. It's the historical border between the North and the South. And I was able to locate some of those marker stones, and they were unceremoniously on the side of the road. One of them was next to a ditch, overgrown with weeds. But the thing that really pissed me off about it was that it had numerous chips taken out of it. So people had found this thing, and their first thought was, hey, I need to get my hammer out and I need to beat some pieces off of it and take it home with me. This has been sitting here unmolested since 1767, and that was someone's first thought. My first thought was, hey, let me clear some of the weeds away from it and get a picture. And that's all that I took of it. So please don't be that person that does something like that. When you come across something of historical significance, some kind of landmark, something that's important to U.S. history, please leave it as you found it. if not even a little better. Please don't try to take the bricks out here. Please don't chip the pieces off of them. Just please leave them alone. Don't be that person. Okay, saw something on here real quick that I gotta get out and we gotta talk about. See this? These did not come out naturally. These were dug out. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable. This is how places like this end up getting closed off. Guys, please, please, please don't be that guy. If you come out here and you dig bricks up, you're an asshole. Unacceptable. So please, please leave everything as you found it. It's a great time to show what the trail is looking like. There's the Defiant. You can see not a whole lot out here. We've been on the trail for about an hour now. We stopped a few times to change the camera around to, you know, exterior shots and stuff like that. But all in all, it's been a pretty nice drive. But again, please don't be that person. Not that I think anybody watching this channel would. But please don't be that person. So here we are. If you are still watching this video by this point, and judging by my metrics on YouTube, you are not. Here is the end of the old brick road portion of the Dixie Highway. It indiscriminately ends in a subdivision. Slow children at play. Well, if you have slow children, they shouldn't be in the street playing. That's what I say. So here we are. We're at the end of the line. So this is it. This is the end of the line. We have done the old brick road portion of the old Dixie Highway, and it was a great drive. As I showed you guys earlier, it ends right here and nondescriptly in this neighborhood. Right before we started shooting this segment, we did see our second vehicle pass by. It was an old white TJ with a couple of guys in it. Got a nice friendly Jeep Wave. It's been fun recording this video. I did this a little differently than I do most of my videos. As anyone who's watched my channel knows, I don't talk. Only on a few do I even do background music. I basically just show you what the trail looks like. No BS, no YouTube personality. Just show you what it looks like. Those are the kind of videos I like. When I'm interested in going somewhere, I get on there, I fast forward past all the fluff, just show me what the trail looks like. This one's unique because this one has so much history. I felt the need to get in front of the camera and tell you about it a little bit. And please, check out Zach Zacharias' video with the Daytona Museum of Art and Science. I'm not connected to them in any way, shape, or form. I don't know Zach. It's just a matter of giving the guy credit. He did an outstanding video covering the history of this road, and it is substantial, the history of this road. I know I took a little jab at another YouTuber. It's all in good fun, but if you're going to do a video, you're going to come out and cover something historical and tell people the history of something, you need to have a basic working knowledge of the history of what it is you're talking about. Don't just go to Wikipedia real quick and regurgitate what's on Wikipedia. But this has been an entertaining drive for me, a very relaxing drive too, which is what's important. A cell phone didn't work for the most of it. Please, please, please hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. I would really like to get more YouTube subscribers. It will really help me make more videos. Hopefully tomorrow I'm going to head off into the Osceola National Forest with a couple of friends and maybe shoot some video there. And then maybe into the Ocala National Forest before I head northbound and go back to Virginia. So please hit that subscribe button. Please feel free to comment, make fun of me, call me names, tell me how much you like the video, tell a dirty limerick, tell a story you know about the road. I don't care. But leave me a comment and give me a like. All right, thank you. Until next time.